For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 30 of Season 2 here at Chelsea. This is going to be the final episode of Season 2 before we head into Season 3. But I want to make sure that at the very beginning of this video, I let you know when Season 3 is going to start. I'm actually away visiting family over the next 3 or 4 days. As such, rather than start Season 3 now and not be able to take any of your suggestions on board for the opening transfer window, I'm going to wait on starting Season 3 until probably Sunday. I get back Saturday. And I could probably record episode 1 on Saturday evening. So then episode 1 of season 3 will be on Sunday. So what I'm going to do over the next few days, or next couple of days before I go away, is stream as much as possible with regards to Dortmund career mode, so that you actually still get at least one career mode video every single day leading up until the start of season 3. So this will be the last Chelsea episode until Sunday. But in between now and then, there will be multiple other videos, obviously Football Manager stuff, and of course the Dortmund career mode will come to you on a daily basis now until we get to Sunday when the Chelsea career mode will return. So there will still be daily career mode content on the channel, but season 3 won't start until Sunday. I just wanted to make sure I got that out there first, because I know I'm still going to get inundated with questions in the comment section of other videos and on Twitter, etc. But Cheers, where's season 3? That's where season 3 is. I want to make sure I take on board your feedback for episode, or for the beginning of season 3. Of course, we're going to have a lot of money to spend. We've got players outgoing at present that have already been decided upon, and we're waiting for the money to come in from that. This is now going to be basically the general and generic traditional season roundup here at the end of the season that we do. You can see, I don't need to show you in the other menus. Liverpool have won the Champions League. Just saw that on the right-hand side there. Koke sat next to the trophy. Congratulations, Liverpool. But we'll have a look at the competitions that we were involved in, the competitions that were prominent around Europe. Obviously, the other leagues that are going to be involved in the Champions League next season. We too will be involved in the Champions League next season. We'll have a look and see at the growth of our players so far and have a final squad report. But let's start with the competitions we were involved in. Of course, the Premier League finale was yesterday, and we were victorious against Reading and Tottenham to ensure that we won the Premier League. In fact, winning it by 2 points as Manchester United drew to 19th placed Reading on the final day of the season to guarantee us that top spot. Arsenal finishing 3rd, Spurs 4th, Villa, Reading and Norwich all promoted last season, all relegated this season. So unfortunately for them, they'll be dropping back down, to the Championship. Burnley win the FA Cup with a 1-0 victory over Manchester City. I did not see that coming at all. Of course, we got knocked out after a replay against Swansea. They then went on to lose to Liverpool, who then went on to lose to Burnley. That's one I didn't expect to see. Now, whilst we were knocked out of the Champions League by Liverpool, we were able to be victorious against them in the Carabao Cup. So we did do a double this year. The League Cup and the Premier League. The pre-season tournament didn't necessarily go to our wanting. And in the European Super Cup, Manchester United, of course, beat us in the Champions League final last season and then won the European Super Cup. But Liverpool were able to beat Barcelona by 2-1. They destroyed me in the semi-finals in frustrating fashion. That was a couple of days ago. Check the video if you missed it. No international competition this summer. Manchester City were able to win the Europa League by 1-0 over Hoffenheim. So English victors in both European competitions. So it'll be Liverpool versus Manchester City, European Super Cup next season. So right. Oh, there is the South American Cup. There is going to be some form of international football. It's, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called in real life. My brain is saying the Copa Mundial, but that is not it's just the Copa America, isn't it? It's just the Copa America. Well, there is some international competition, but we won't be involved in it. So have a quick look at the other leagues. Let's have a look at the player stats first. Golden Boot for the Premier League goes to Harry Kane on 21. Alexis Sanchez there on 17. Benzema on 16. Mbappe at Everton, of course, in this series on 14. And Morata, thanks to his stunning brace against Tottenham, moves himself up to joint Isco on 13 goals there in joint 5th place. Lukaku and Martial both there joint 1 goal behind. Gabriel Jesus also on 12. Hazard there on 11. Any other Chelsea players involved? Tammy Abraham gets 10 Premier League goals. Of course, he was in good form throughout the season. And Willian there on 8. Really, a player we're contemplating moving on. Isco and Morata also there towards the top with assists as well. Harry Kane getting the golden boot and getting the most assists as well. Fantastic season for him. A lot of Chelsea players there though in the top 10. As you can see, Isco, Morata, Willian, Hazard and Tammy Abraham. Kante's there as well in 13th on 6. Chris Wood for Burnley. Any other Chelsea players in the top 25? There are not. Golden Glove goes to Petr Cech at Arsenal. David De Gea also finishes on 14. Muslera at Watford. Courtois the 13 is only one away from getting the Golden Glove. I didn't play anyone else really. Brown played a couple of games for me, but that was mainly in cup competitions. And card-wise, we're not that fussed. I don't tend to get that many bookings, to be honest. But let's have a quick look and see at the other leagues around Europe. Also judge or have a look at what the board expectations were, how we fared against the board expectations this particular season. Let's have a quick scroll around, see who's going to be joining us in the Premier League next season from the Championship. Newcastle United and Swansea both getting over 100 points. Wow. 107 and 104 apiece. Swansea only lost 2 games all year. Obviously knocking us out of the FA Cup as well. Wow. Losing 2 in 46 games. That's ridiculous. One of Brighton, Sunderland, Leeds or Cardiff will join us in the Premier League next year. Relegated are Sheffield United, surprisingly. Oxford and Scunthorpe. Promoted out of League One, Millwall and Blackburn. And then one of Wigan, Barnsley, Rotherham or Charlton will be joining them in the Championship. Relegated are Fleetwood, Chesterfield, Oldham and Blackpool. Promoted out of the 4th tier of English football, League 2, Notts County and Swindon, as well as Wickham. Automatic promotion spots are the top 3 in League 2. And then one of Carlisle, Gillingham, Port Vale and Northampton will be joining them via the playoffs. Cambridge, unfortunately for me, only finishing in 9th. And then were there the conference on the game, Crewe and Morecambe would be heading back down into it. I didn't want to back out. Let's head back across and have a look and see what happened in the other top European leagues. Of course, give us an idea of who we might get in the Champions League group stage next season. Paris Saint-Germain win Ligue 1. Lyon in 2nd, Marseille in 3rd and Monaco in 4th. Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga. Mönchengladbach there in 2nd, a long way behind. And Dortmund even further behind there in 3rd. And then Wolfsburg in 4th. Juventus win the Scudetto with Fiorentina in 2nd, only 2 points behind them. Good season for Fiorentina. AC Milan and Napoli round out the top 4 with Lazio, Roma in 5th and 6th. Inter only finishing in 8th. And then the last major league in Europe is the Spanish League. Of course, Ajax, those you saw briefly, winning in the Eredivisie. Scotland, Celtic win 6 points ahead of Rangers, and by a single point, Real Madrid win La Liga ahead of Barcelona. Atletico Madrid there in 3rd, Villarreal 4th, Valencia 5th, Sevilla 6th. So then, what happened with regards to the board expectations this year? We're on an 86, which isn't as high as it has been this season. We did get as high as 90, didn't we? But youth development-wise, we were able to do that, thanks to Brown, the goalkeeper. Brand exposure-wise, we actually did the player shirt sales one very early on, and we have now completed the long-term expectation there as well. Financial, we didn't have anything there. Domestic success, win the Premier League. We did. Win the FA Cup. I very much didn't. And they want me to win the Champions League as well, and of course getting knocked out in the semi-finals. But still, an 86 manager rating to end the year is not to be scoffed at. We still have £50 million sat there in the transfer budget, but we haven't had the opportunity to spend it. And then let's have a final squad report then, shall we? Actually, let me quickly show you the youth players. That's the wrong tab. I do have a handful of youth players in the setup that actually have great potential. 82 to 92 for Elliot Martin at right back. Still only 16 years of age. 90 to 94 for Lewis Bennett at left back. Ismail Barros, 67 to 87. Waiting to see if he's actually going to be any good. Although decent physicals already, to be fair. 80 strength, 75, 6'6" as well. So could train his technicals, and actually he could become a pretty handy centre-back. Pedro Ramirez, 15 years of age, 76 to 94. Not able to call him up yet, but good agility at 80 already. Dominic Turner, 86 to 92 potential. Looks like he could be pretty handy. And Diego Abreu, 91 to 94 potential for him. He's going to be an incredible player once he gets to his full potential. Although obviously, unfortunately, we won't get to see that in this save. And Rui Faria, potential to be decent again, 79 to 94. So we've got some good youngsters there. We just aren't really going to have the opportunity to actually get them to reach their top potential. But one thing I did actually want to ask you guys, because obviously youth football or youth players are so important in career mode, would you be interested in seeing a youth-only series? So basically the gist of it is, I start at a lower league team and I have obviously their first team squad available to me, but the main initial aim would be to sell on as many, if not all, of those first team players that you start with as possible and bring through as many youth prospects as possible and basically do a Road to Glory style series with regens, with youth players. Would you be interested in seeing that? Or is that something you'd perhaps like to see solely as a YouTube series or more on stream and then brought to the YouTube channel as a similar sort of style to the Dortmund series with the highlights? Let me know. It's something I'm contemplating for once this Chelsea series finishes, either moving Dortmund to the main series here on the channel and change that from the stream one to the YouTube only one, and then starting an RTG, youth RTG on stream, or maybe keeping the Dortmund one on stream, doing another larger team here on YouTube, and then doing an RTG style video or series. Let me know. I want your feedback on that. But anyway, let's jump in and have a look at the squad report, shall we? So we can see who's doing what this season. We do have 3 goalkeepers now at the club. Bailey has come up. Sean Bailey, he's 6'5" and will be a very, very good goalkeeper. I can train him, although Dominic Brown is still being trained at 16 years of age, at 6'2". 16 years of age and 80 rated. Obviously, goalkeepers are so easy to train, so it's not really too much of an issue. I could train him and then start to train Bailey, maybe even sell Brown on for profit, or maybe even sell Bailey on for profit. Don't think I'm going to be selling Thibaut Courtois though. Actually, let's switch across to the stats screen, shall we? No, attributes. So up 9 for Brown this season. Bailey's already up 1. Courtois up 1 to 91. Oliveira is up 2 to 73, whilst out on loan in France. Is that Dijon? I think it's Dijon, isn't it? Dijon, lol. Dijon is where Oliveira, get your words up, Ches, is, and Dujon Sterling is still here at the club. I'm going to sell him on. It's not playing for me. It's pointless me having him. Zappacosta, the right back, is up 2 this year to 82. Had a very good season. Pleased with him. Ricardo Pereira, though, has come in and been incredible for us. Have a quick look at his stats this year. 43 games played in total, 17 clean sheets. Very, very good player. Extremely pleased with him. Probably one of the best right backs I've used. Matt Miazga is out on loan. I'll look to sell him on next season rather than loan him out again. Jake Clark-Celta, I will look to loan again, though. Although I might as well sell him on. David Luiz, I will look to sell on next year. His stats are starting to drop now. So I will look to sell David Luiz on. However, we do have, of course, Azpilicueta now moving from out wide to a central role. So I'm not going to need to sign a centre-back. Rudiger is 85 rated now. He's continued to grow this season. And he's almost as good as David Luiz overall. Kenneth Moruo, probably look to sell him as well. Chaloba, I'll look to loan out again. Weren't able to get him a loan deal this season for some reason, unfortunately. Azpilicueta is still 87 rated and growing, which is good news. Andreas Christensen up 1 to 84. Although his in-game stats, 91 stand tackle, 89 stand tackle. What's his average rating this season? Let's have a look, shall we? 7.8 average rating in 39 games. He may only be 84 rated, but he's still one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. Have Aymeric Laporte, of course, 87 rated now. Aymeric Laporte growing up to this season. He's been superb for me. He's got a 7.8 average rating as well from 37 games played this season. Alexandro came in at left-back. He's been brilliant. Very pleased with him as well. A 7.6 average rating for him. 1 goal in pre-season and 1 assist as well in the Premier League in 13 starts. 13 starts? Is that it? Must have been... did we only sign him in January then? I must have signed him in January. We have Humberto Sanchez, who's a youngster. I will try and get him out on loan next year if I can, because of course we have Luke Shaw as my backup still at left back. I'll try and get as many of the youngsters out on loan as I can next season. N'Golo Kante at CDM, up 1 to 90 rated this year. Kante's Kante. What more can you say? Up 10 is Xavi Perez this year to 18. To 71 at 18 years of age. I could continue to train him, and I think I will, but I'm contemplating sending him out on loan to perhaps try and continue that good growth. Bakayoko, been a rotation player for me since the introduction of Toni Kroos, but still very, very good. Jacob Maddox, again, we'll try and sell and or loan. Jerry Boga is up 1 out on loan, but I'll look to sell him on. He's not really going to affect my first team picture. Charlie Musonda has been very good for me this year. What are his overall attributes this season, or stats even this season? 6 goals and 2 assists. Did very well in the Carabao Cup, as you can see that on our run to the final. 3 goals in 6 games. Great player off the bench with that pace, 94 acceleration and 84 sprint speed. Good on the ball as well, and obviously having 5-star skills is a nice little addition to that. Julio Barrios is someone that I've called up recently from the youth squad. Potential to get into the 90s. Reece James, I'll look to sell on. Kyle Scott, I'll look to sell on or loan on. Pasalic, I will look to keep at the club. Potentially loan him if an offer comes in, but I'd like to keep him as a backup. Of course, we have Isco, who's up 1 to 88 this year. He got 19 goals and 18 assists this season for Isco. Extremely a good year for him. Toni Kroos is still 90 rated. No decrease in any of his stats, crucially, at 29 years of age. And as you saw a moment ago, 8 goals, 3 assists for him this season. All 8 were absolute stunners as well. Van Ginkel played actually more football this year than I envisaged he would at the beginning of the year. But still a crucial player in my overall team. Cesc Fabregas is 84 rated now. His future is already assured, of course. He will leave to join Real Madrid at the beginning of season number 3. So we will have some extra money to spend there. Barbier is another youngster I've called up from the youth team, 16 years of age, has the potential to get into the 90s too. Kennedy. I don't know what to do with him. I might look to sell Kennedy on and replace him with someone else. 3 goals, 3 assists isn't really good enough. I'm not sure. Casey Palmer. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not. I don't know what to do with Casey Palmer. He is better than Kylian Hazard, though, so I'll look to sell Kylian Hazard on. Yeah, I'll look to sell Kylian Hazard on. May even replace Kylian with Torgan Hazard, perhaps. Something to think about. Willian hopefully will leave us next season. Had a good year. 11 goals, 12 assists. Much better than season 1, but his stats are significantly dropping now. As you can see, the acceleration down 5. And technically, his finishing and long shots and short passing is going down as well. So I will look to move Willian on next year. Pedro, did we decide Pedro? No, it was someone else was leaving. Or was it Pedro? No, we haven't agreed Pedro, have we? It was Michy Batshuayi and Cesc Fabregas that are confirmed as leaving. So Pedro, wow, sprint speed down 10. Yeah, time for Pedro to leave, unfortunately. Down 2 overall to 81. Alvaro Morata, up 1 to 87 this year. As we mentioned, an indifferent season for him, but got the goals when we needed him to. 26 goals in total in 36 games, plus 14 assists on average, an 8.5 overall rating, and contributing to more than a goal a game. It's still a good season for Morata, despite the hiccups. Michy didn't do much for me this year. 9 games played, 1 goal, 4 assists. Up 2 overall, though, to 84, but also at 84. Up 8 this year is Tammy Abraham. 89 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. Strength is up to... Where is strength? Where is strength? Am I blind? No, where's strength? Why is strength not on that list? That's odd. Is it here? No, it should be under physical. Okay. That's odd that it's not listed there, but strength, I'm sure, has grown as well. Finishing up to 89. Tammy Abraham, as you saw a moment ago, 23 goals in 25 games, plus 12 assists. He is now a very, very good striker. He and Morata will be my 2 strikers next year. And, of course, I can always play people like Eden Hazard at striker as well, so don't need to worry about bringing in another striker. Nathan is out on loan still, growing a little bit, but look to sell him on. Nice to see Ewan Mason growing, although his physicals haven't grown as much as I wanted them to. Technically, he's very good. And I'll perhaps keep him at the club and look to loan out Wagner instead. But I just wish his physicals had grown more. Such a shame. Eden Hazard, though, 91 rated. No growth this season. He reached 91 last year. He's brilliant. 12 goals in 14 games. Perhaps not as many as you might like from him. 7 assists as well, but an average rating of 8.3. Still a good season for Eden Hazard, but would perhaps have liked more. With regards player contracts, nobody's contract is ending this season, so we will address new contracts next year. But all in all, a much better season 2 than season 1. 2 pieces of silverware, Carabao Cup and the Premier League. Next season, we'll try and win the Community Shield against Burnley. Of course, they won the FA Cup. We'll try and win the FA Cup ourselves and the Champions League too. FA Cup and Champions League take priority in Season 3, but as mentioned at the beginning of the episode, that won't start until Sunday because I'm away, but there will still be career mode content every single day. Do check out the Dortmund series if you haven't already. It is very popular, so please do so if you haven't to this point. But for now, that's all from me for today. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on more, especially Season 3 when it starts, and I'll see you next time.